management practices and also due to an inadequate cold chain infrastructure. And both these, the good post-harvest practices as well as integrated cold chain, they're not only important and critical in reducing food loss, but they also enable farmers and producers to move up the value chain by accessing and targeting premium markets in India and abroad, which might be distant markets as well. AEE's cold chain program promotes sustainable cold chain development for reducing food loss, ensuring food security, and improving farmer incomes. And we stress on sustainable cold chain development so that as that cold chain is built out and provides benefits to producer groups and farmers, it is also a low carbon and climate resilient cold chain infrastructure. In fact, from AEE's meetings with farmer producer companies and field visits to farmer producers companies, as well as meetings with other critical stakeholders, such as resource institutions and financial institutions in the agri sector, one point that we kept hearing from a lot of these meetings and field visits is that there is a need for more awareness and training on the benefits of good post-harvest management practices, as well as an integrated cold chain infrastructure. And people and participants were also keen to find out about the different types of cold chain solutions and products that are offered by different companies. So in fact, in today's webinar, we are glad to have very knowledgeable professionals who will speak on these topics. Dr. Swati Sharma of the Indian Institute of Vegetable Research will speak on best practices in post-harvest management. And we have a brief Q&A session after her presentation for those who would like to raise a few questions. Following that, we have presentations on sustainable cooling solutions and products from Mr. Sagar Bendre of New Leaf Dynamics, Mr. Karbhari Munde of ECOZEN, Mr. Rahul Kapoor of Carrier, and Mr. Santosh Gupta of Plus. And we will have a brief Q&A session after their presentations also for those who may have questions or queries on these products and solutions. I now invite Dr. Swati Sharma to speak about best practices in post-harvest management. I've stopped sharing my screen. Yeah.
Hi, Swati ma'am. I think you are on mute.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now we can hear you.
Okay. Greetings to everybody. And as Madam said, truly post-harvest losses have become very important in today's significance. First, let me share my slide. Is my slide visible?
Yes, ma'am. We can see it.
Okay. For today, we will talk about tomato, onion, and potato because in one presentation, we cannot talk about everything in post-harvest management practices. And these three vegetables, they are very important for us. Also, as Madam said, post-harvest losses, they are gaining much significance today, not because only we are getting high yields, but also because nutritional significance of these crops, horticultural crops, mainly vegetables, is very high. I think everybody will understand English, or should I go in Hindi?
I think, ma'am, yeah, English is also okay, no problem. If there is any question raised in Hindi, then we can answer in Hindi.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The nutritional significance of vegetables is such that whenever we talk about the consumption or vitamins and minerals, we talk about fruits and vegetables. The daily recommendation is also very high. It's about 350 grams of vegetables daily. So we can imagine the amount of vegetables required for our nutritional security. When we talk about the slide presentation, my structure will be like, we'll introduce to horticultural statistics. Then we'll talk about the importance of post-harvest management. nutritional importance of these three vegetables, tomato, onion, and potato, the characteristics which affect their post-harvest quality, transport, packaging, storage, and what we can do in processing and value-added products. To start with, let us see the statistics. The presentation, you can see that horticulture production, it has risen by about 2.3% over the last year, and it is around 342.33 million tons. This year it has been estimated by the government of India, and it is third advanced estimate. If you see vegetables, it is
Can we
around
see that screen
204.
sharing?
Hello?
Dr. Swati, I think your screen is not changing. Slides are not moving.
I think it will move. Please see once
Now,
more.
now it's moving. Yeah.
It will
Yeah.
be a little slow actually, I think.
Okay. Sure, ma'am. Noted. Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am. Thank you.
It's visible, horticultural statistics.
Now we can see that statistics slide. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The production of vegetables is estimated to be around 204.84 million tons. And if you see the figures for tomatoes, onion, and potatoes, you will see that they are around 20, 31, and 53 million tons. And in tomatoes, we are the second largest producer of the world. Around 10% of the tomatoes we are producing, the whole total production. However, when we come to process it, how much we are processing? We are just processing 1%, around 1%. And the rest we are using it as fresh, or we are throwing it away because of post-harvest losses. If you compare the same statistics with the other countries, you will find that they are processing around 25% of their tomatoes. So we can imagine the magnitude of the losses we are having because of not being able to process or store it in a proper way. Has the slide changed? The importance and need of PHM?
No, ma'am. Right now we can see horticulture statistics only.
I have changed it. I think it will come.
Shall I share my screen if you are comfortable?
It's okay. I'll just say next.
I think, with Dr. Swati, maybe you can just do it not in the slideshow mode, but in the regular PPT then and change
Yes,
it.
I
to
think.
that. Yeah,
Yes,
that
I
would be
think that
better.
will be better. Yes.
Because we are not able to see the slide share mode. Yeah, now it's okay. Thank you.
Now it's okay, na?
Yes, ma'am. Now we can see. Sure.
Okay. I'll start like this only. See, we all talk about post-harvest management, and at every forum this question comes up because it's not just about throwing the produce. We have to see how much resources have gone into producing that produce. At different forums, good quality agricultural practices, then good varieties, and all the agronomic practices to manage pests, disease, and cultural practices. We do irrigation, we do fertilizer, we are putting in. But ultimately, the produce which we get, which is of good quality, which can be used for consumption and processing, or we can get some we can export it also, but we are throwing it away. So it is a very colossal loss. And if you see the loss estimated by FAO, this is data of 2019, they have estimated that approximately 33% of all the food produced worldwide is lost, and it is equivalent to a staggering amount 1.3 billion tons of food. In our country, MOFPI has estimated that, I'll talk about only vegetables, we are losing about 21 million tons of vegetable, 21 million tons. And this amount has been monetary losses. In terms of monetary losses, it will be around 1 lakh crores. So we can imagine the magnitude we are losing in post-harvest stages. If we see that onion, potato, and tomato, the losses at different levels, farm levels and storage levels, we will see that in tomato, around 12% is estimated. This is a conservative estimate. Lowest, I will say, because many times it's not 12, it's 25 also. And if we are throwing away 25, then what is the need of good varieties? Why to produce more if we are going to throw it away? Onion, you will see around 7.5% loss. Potato, 9% loss. And this data is, as I said, it's very limited. It's not even depicting the actual picture. In actual scenario, this loss might be around 20%, 25%, which is very high. a question comes in our mind that why fruits and vegetables and in horticultural produce only, why we are getting so much of post-harvest losses? We are not getting the same losses in grains and all. This is primarily because if you see the respiration rate of the grains, it is very low. They are having very low moisture content. After harvest, before they go into storage, they are around 10% moisture, 7%, 5%, 8%. And in the fruits and vegetables, it is around 90%, 95%. In most of the vegetables, it is around 90 to 95% moisture content. And this is the prime determinant which results in their very high perishability and very limited shelf life. We will see that fruits and vegetables, they are alive. They lose moisture at a very rapid rate, especially at high temperatures. And that is why we need cold storage. They can get sick because of pathogen attack and they can even die, as we see in leaching. And breathing, this is very important. And when they breathe, they release heat also. They are using up the carbohydrate reserve as well as they are releasing the heat. And because of all this, the quality is also deteriorating. Now we'll come up to major reasons for post-harvest losses in India. See, proper harvesting, handling, and post-harvest management is often not done in our country. Then, as Madam said very rightly, that lack of cold storage facilities, how to store, because there is no infrastructure, there is no cold chain, we don't have reefer vans, lack of proper packaging, fragmented supply chain, lack of access to big markets, inadequate processing facilities, and value addition in general, if you see in horticultural produce, it is only around 2.2%. In tomato, as I told, it's in our country, it is around 1%. In potato, it is around 7%. In onion also, it is around 6 to 7%. So with this less processing and with we are not having even adequate storage, then we are going to lose only. If you see the post-harvest management infrastructure and gap, this data is little bit old, 2 years old, I think. But still you can see the staggering differences in the existing capacity and the requirement. The pack houses, the reefer transport, the cold storage, controlled atmosphere storage, the ripening chambers, 800 and 9,000, around 10 times. 32 million tons, 35 million tons, less than 10,000 in number, and it is requirement is around 62,000. And with increasing production, definitely the requirement is also going to rise. These vegetables, they are very significant for our health. Why we need to talk about significance for health? Because in our country and in the world in general, we see all the different diseases, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, cancer, all these are on rise. And despite putting so many input resources while growing the crop, all the hard work that goes into of a farmer, and such good crops with so much of potential for maintaining our health, which are a rich source of bioactive compounds. For example, if we talk about tomato, it is a very rich source of lycopene, carotenoids, dietary fiber, fatty acids. You see, these are having very strong antioxidant activity. Lycopene is a potent antioxidant, and it has been found that this is very good crop for preventing cancer, especially prostate cancer. All these bioactive compounds are also responsible for improved immune defenses. Good source of dietary fiber, which controls glucose absorption, decreases the risk of heart disease and probability of colon cancer. Fatty acids are also giving us antimicrobial activity and UV protection. If we talk about onion, the different flavonoids, phenolics, quercetin, etc. These are such good bioactive compounds, and they have so much of biological activities, which not only help us to protect our health, but also it is helping us to maintain our health in terms of obesity also, weight management, neuroprotective. These are cardioprotective, antimicrobial, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic. These are very important qualities actually, especially when so many diseases, lifestyle diseases are on the rise in our country, and not only in our country, the world over. So I don't think that after producing such important crops, we should just let them to waste. Talking some about potato, it is a globally consumed food crop and its importance is only after rice, wheat and maize. Potato is not a very rich source of lycopene because it is not red in color. We can see also lycopene is a red colored pigment. However, the sheer magnitude of it being consumed in the world all over, if you see the right hand side pie chart, you will see that potato is contributing about 25% of the dietary phenolics because it is consumed in such a large quantity that it is the major source of phenolics in our diet. And phenolics are the major antioxidants which help us to fight against disease and to fight against the free radicals and to maintain our health. You will see tomato is contributing about 15%. This is a study from America. It was in their dietary preference, according to their dietary preference. I think we eat potato even more. So for us, it might go up to 30% also. Now we are coming to the main thing, that what are the characteristics affecting post-harvest storage and quality? These characteristics were in general earlier, which we talked about, that moisture content, its soft texture, respiration rates were high, transpiration was high. These are in general true for all the horticultural commodities, be it fruits, fresh fruits, vegetables or floricultural produce. However, when we go for post-harvest storage, the main characteristics which we need to see are genotype selection. Variety plays a major role. Which variety we have to select for processing, which variety can be stored for a longer time in cold storage, which variety will show less susceptibility to post-harvest storage disease or disorders. It is having a very significant effect on that, the genotype. Apart from that, many pre-harvest factors like the fertilizer you are putting in, nutrition, the irrigation, the amount of irrigation as well as the frequency of irrigation, as well as the withholding time when you are stopping the irrigation before harvesting the crop. In some crops you should irrigate, in some you should not. So it varies according to the crop. Many environmental factors, rainfall just before harvest, disease load, etc. Then post-harvest, handling the harvesting at proper maturity stage, neither before nor after. Field heat removal. When the crop is in the field, it is at a temperature same as that of atmosphere. It is around 40-45 degrees Celsius. Even if it is in shade of canopy, if we talk about fruits, it is around 42 degrees Celsius. The temperature, at that temperature, the respiration rate is very high. And because of the respiration rate being high, the carbohydrate reserves are depleted faster, quality deteriorates faster. So we need to reduce the field heat by pre-cooling of produce. I've talked about it in a few slide further up. Then handling, how you handle the produce. Do you just after harvesting keep it in sun? Are you just throwing it away? Are you just throwing it while placing it in trucks, while storing it there? Are the farmers or the traders here, they are standing over the boras? How curing you have done? You have curing is completed or not? How you are transporting? If you have done pre-cooling and then after that you are transporting it in regular mode, then it is not going to work because the crop is going to get temperature shock. Then storage conditions, which is the main this one for this presentation. The temperature at which you store the produce, the relative humidity in the cold storage, the ventilation you are putting in, the atmospheric composition you are controlling, all these have a very significant effect on the storage quality and shelf life. Apart from that, we have to take care of the rotting, sprouting, rooting, disorders which develop during storage, and the insect pest attack also. If we talk about transport, this is how we are transporting the produce in our country generally. And this leads to many kinds of problems. Because if the produce is going to be sent to a small distance, or if it is just going to be sold at fresh market, still it will be okay. But if we are going to store this produce in cold store, after taking it like this, it is not going to store very well. Since it is not in full screen mode, I'll show you these packaging standards, how it should be packed for export. I've given some pictures, and I will show you some guidelines for potato and this one, tomato. I think tomato is not there in this one. Potato and onion. Potatoes, if you have to send 10 kg, I'm just showing this slide that you'll have an idea that if you go for export, they have designed it so well that they have given you every detail about how to package it. If you have to send the potatoes in 10 kg capacity, and if you are using CFB box, what should be the external dimensions for that? 40, 30, 18 centimeter. The style of box, telescopic, you can see through. Number of plies of CFB, 3. Bursting strength of board, 11 kg per centimeter square. Number of ventilation holes is very important. See, if we don't give ventilation, the crop will not be able to respire properly, and it will lead to anaerobic respiration and formation of alcohol, and which will give it an off flavor. So this number of ventilation holes, 16, is very important, and they have given the diameter of holes as well. It is around 2 centimeter. Position also they have given where you should place the hole. You can see that 2 sides each 3, 3, which will come to 6, 2 ends 1, 1, and top and bottom each 4, coming around to 16 holes. Similarly, for potatoes, if you want to pack it in jute bag or lino bag, the specifications for that has been given. The adhesive tape, the tape which we use to seal the box, for that the strength of this tape is also been mentioned in the slides. So we know that when we want to transport the this one crop, we need to take care of every small thing. This was just to give you an idea. It is not complete because our main topic is around storage. I just wanted to give give a preview to you that you will know that if we want to go for that, we need to check all these things. If we talk about potato storage, why we need to store, we saw that how much production we are having, what is the nutritional quality, what is the significance of potato in our diet. It is just about, after rice, wheat, maize, it is supplying our carbohydrates, so much of energy it is providing. And about 80% is produced from this region, Indo-Gangetic Plains, most of which is harvested in January, February, in these 2 months when the temperature is low. It is mainly a temperate crop, and this low temperature after harvesting is soon followed by a long, very long summer season with very high temperatures. Even though the moisture content is little bit low in potato as compared to other vegetables, which even show that 95% moisture content, potato is having around 75 to 85% moisture content. It is a semi-perishable crop. 75 to 85 is not less. If you see in grains, we are having only 5, 7, 8, 9% moisture content. And losses due to poor handling and storage can amount to around 16 to 40%. The major loss which we encounter are due to rotting, shrinkage, weight loss, sprouting, and attack of microbes and pests. Yes.
Ma'am, we have around 5 minutes left for your session, so just wanted to inform you.
Only 5 minutes, please give me at least 10 to 12 minutes. Otherwise, it will, how
Okay,
it
so
will
we
be.
will, so now it's 11 a.m. Can we close it at 11:10, 10 minutes?
Okay, I'll try.
Sure.
I'll go a
Thank
little
you.
fast.
Yeah, thanks.
The major losses in potato are due to rotting, shrinkage, sprouting, and attack of microbes and pests. See, the most important thing in storage of potato is the need. Why you are storing it? Are you storing it only for short term, or we are going for a long term? If we are going for short term, we can go for non-refrigerated storage, which is cheaper. And in this is more suitable for table and processing purposes because of the development of low reducing sugar in this one. The starch to sugar conversion in potato is based on temperature. So if we have to store only for short term, we can go for non-refrigerated storage. However, if we go for refrigerated storage, the purpose here varies. If we are storing it for seed purposes, we don't want sprouting to occur and we need it to go to next season, then we have to store it at 2 to 4 degrees Celsius and 95% RH. If we are going to use it for processing, we have to store it for cold temperature at 10 to 12 degrees Celsius. This is very important, not only from energy point of view, because if we store a produce as 2 to 4 degrees Celsius and if we store at 10 to 12, there will be massive change in the energy requirement. Apart from that, the whole consignment will be wasted if we are storing it for processing purpose and the chips we are getting out of that potatoes are turning brown. The whole consignment is going to be wasted. We are not going to get any price out of it. So the purpose for which we are storing should be very clear and the temperature should be selected according to that only. We can recondition some cold store potatoes to some extent. This is when we want to use for table purpose. We can store it at 15 to 18 degrees Celsius for about 2 weeks. The limitations it will have because all cold stored potatoes do not recondition satisfactorily. To control sprouting, we are using CIPC at the rate of 25 milligram active ingredient per kg of tubers. And we have to take care that it is safe for consumption only after 3 to 4 weeks of treatment. And one more thing which is very important while applying CIPC, that it has to be applied after curing, not before curing, after curing, because it will inhibit with the healing process and the development of peel, because it is a mitotic inhibitor. And therefore we should always take care that CIPC is harvested after CIPC is applied after curing. Many diseases develop during storage, and for that we need to carefully monitor the storage. Late blight, dry rot, then bacterial wilt. The main handling practices we can do is shade curing, proper shade curing, avoiding excess irrigation, proper sorting, and storage at optimum temperatures. Tuber moth can also attack. See, this is internal black spot or blue spot development. This is resulting from bruising either from impact or from pressure injury. It is not that you'll get the results soon after. If we are sitting on a bag of potatoes, or if we are just in trucks, the potato is placed at the bottom without proper plastic crate, using proper plastic crate packaging, then immediate result, even if we are not getting, during storage, after that, if we take out the potatoes, it will be internal black spot and blue spot in the vascular region might be seen, which may lead to rejection of entire loads. So we understand the importance of every step. Similarly, black heart. If the temperatures are very high, and even in low temperatures, even at 4 degrees Celsius, if the ventilation is not proper, the respiration rate of potatoes will be so high that the oxygen demand will not be fulfilled. And if the oxygen starvation occurs, then we can see that purple gray to black area in the center of tuber will develop. And all this will lead to the loss of the whole consignment. We also need to take care that if a cold cargo is discharged into a warm, humid atmosphere without grading it out, temperature grading should be done. If we just take out a potato which was stored at 10 degrees Celsius directly into 45 degrees Celsius, condensation might occur and massive bacterial rot will follow. So we need to grade the cargo before. If we know that it is going to market at 45 degrees Celsius and it might be warm atmosphere, then we need to start conditioning our potatoes, and potatoes or onion or anything which is which has been stored in cold storage, that the temperature rises at a rate of around 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius per day. In 4 to 5 days, we can increase the temperature gradually. So around 25 degrees Celsius, at least around the above the atmospheric dew point. We also need to remember that infection starts often in field and continues during storage. Reduce the sun exposure to lower disease and weight loss, because sun exposure is related to disease attack, because the sunburn will appear on the surface and that tissue will be broken down and pathogen attack will be easier. Proper curing and use of sprout inhibitors and pre-harvest fungicide sprays are very important. Prevent mechanical injury and prevent high temperature and high humidity during storage. If we talk about onion, in 3 crops it is cultivated. Mainly Kharif, late Kharif and Rabi, out of which Rabi is the major contributor. And Rabi crops we are storing. Curing is again very important in onion. Field curing followed by shade curing. Detopping needs to be done. Sorting and grading are always very important. Again, from onion, depending upon the price and your environment, you can go for non-refrigerated and refrigerated storage. Non-refrigerated in cool and dry place, temperature 25 to 30 and RH 60 to 70%. It will be cheaper and it can be done for shorter periods. However, we need to remember that if we want to go for long storage, the temperature should be between 0 to 2 and RH of 60 to 70%. We need to go for irradiation in this one because malic hydrazide has now been banned, and there are radiation processing plant at Washi and Lassalgaon. These are the different storage structures, non-refrigerated storage structures for onion. Then fusarium basal rot, black mold, these are very important during post-harvest stages also. The management has been given. The main thing is you have to take care of your commodity. You need to remember that the temperature, if we are going to store it, we cannot go from directly from 45 degrees Celsius to 2 degrees Celsius. We need to grade it. First, we need to pre-cool it to immediately bring down the temperature by around 20-25 degrees Celsius. And after that, we need to grade it. Similarly, while bringing it out, the light red onions are known to show higher storability, and mild varieties sprout more readily than pungent. These are general observations based on research papers. The medium-sized bulbs free from cuts and bruises are best for storage. Field curing and shade curing is very important. Pre-conditioning before taking out commodity is important. Also, the grouping of vegetables is important because some vegetables, the optimum storage temperature will be around 0 to 2. For some, it is 5 to 10. Again, 10 to 15, because if we are not storing at optimum temperature, the weight loss will be very high. I need to go very fast to complete in next 2 minutes. Pre-cooling and cool chain, you can see temperature, RH, and atmospheric composition. As I told, these are very important. If the temperature rises above optimum, respiration rate will rise, moisture loss will accelerate, the microbial growth will also advance. And if it is going below optimum, that is also a very dangerous situation, especially in capsicum, cucumber, and other crops like these. Chilling injury and freezing injury will set in. RH, we see most vegetables, it is around 90 to 95%. For onion, it is 65 to 70%. These are the recommended storage condition. Tomato. See, for tomato, we need to see the stage, because tomato is a climateric fruit and we can harvest it at mature green stage. However, if we store the mature green stage at lower temperatures around 8 to 10, it is going to suffer from chilling injury. As I told, the ripening will not be uniform, the color development will not be uniform. So the stage of harvest needs to be matched with the temperature requirement. For onion, I told 0 to 2. Potato, we have already discussed. And we can go for processing because in fresh, we get saleable weight loss. If we are sending the produce to be 1000 kg, by the time it reaches the market, it can become 950 kg, 920 kg. So we are getting saleable weight loss also. Its storage is difficult and expensive too. So we can go for processing. And these are the different value-added products which we can make. There are many more. I have given some for just for expression. And these are the different machines we can use. The industry requirements for processing varieties are important. We can see that the tuber shape, size, dry matter content, sugar content, oil absorption, starch quality, everything is important when we go for industry for processing. Similarly, in tomato, every tomato cannot be processed, and that is why often they are thrown away also, because the total soluble solids, the lycopene content, the pH, the vitamin C, the titratable acidity, all these have effect on the final product. And some varieties have been found to be suitable. Just like in potato also, you can see Kufri Chipsona, Frysona, Chandramukhi, Laukar have been found to be more suitable. And in tomato, Kashi Aman, Adarsh, Arka Vishesh and Apeksha have been found to be suitable. Thank you. I think 11:10 Prashant had told. I completed by 11:10.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. It was really helpful to understand about the post-harvest losses and some of the best practices that can be followed to reduce those losses. So thanks again for your presentation. Now we are opening the session for Q&A a part of this presentation. So right now, Swati ma'am, we have one question from Miss Nikita Singh. She has asked, what are the physiological and biochemical changes that occur in vegetable during post-harvest storage? She wants to know if you can answer this. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
thank you.
See, in vegetables, there are many physiological and biochemical changes occurring. It is a dynamic process. It is occurring continually, and it is based on the changes in the storage also. So the temperature at which you are storing will affect the changes also. The major biochemical changes will be the bioactive compounds. If you see, phenolics, flavonoids, the antioxidant capacity, the color, the pigment degradation, all these will occur. Apart from that, TSS, acidity, these will change. So this will have a final bearing on the taste of the produce. Not only the nutritional quality is affected, because that you cannot see and judge. All the time you cannot see a tomato or any crop, and you can see that phenolics इसमें कम हो गए. You cannot see that one, but it is changing. Apart from that, taste, if you say, the product can become mealy. If you see the firmness of the apple in many cultivars, the crispiness which it has in the beginning, after cold storage of around 6 to 8 months, it is not having the same crispiness. So the firmness is changing. There are many more physiological and biochemical changes. So it is a dynamic process, and everything in the produce is changing. As I told, it is a living commodity, and it is changing according to your environment.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, I think now there was one more question from Mr. Rizwan Ahmed. I think you shared a data related to loss of produce, horticulture produce in India. So he was asking, in terms of percentage, do we have any estimate, like how much percentage of horticulture produce is getting wasted or lost due to after post harvest, due to lack of this management practices?
Yes, sure. See, the report I shared, it was from CIFET. It is around from 2014. In NAS also a policy document came in 2019, saving the harvest. You can go through that. By any conservative estimate also, they are telling around 15 to 20% losses are there. And in actual conditions, it might be even higher.
Okay, thank you. So any other participant, if they want to ask. So one more question is there, I think, from Mr. Nikhil Gurav. He's asking, is there any chemical treatment required for onion during long-term storage to prevent post-harvest disease?
Yes, I gave in the slide also. You can use carbendazim before harvest, 10, 20, 30 days before harvest, 0.1%. And see, sanitation is very important. This sorting is very important. It might seem like a small thing, but it is not a small thing. And repercussions it will have after storage will be very high. So constant monitoring is also required. You need to see the crop which which is going to be sent for cold storage is good. And for this lowering the attack only, the inoculum needs to be lowered, and for that you can spray fungicides in pre-harvest stages. Carbendazim is mostly sprayed. The next question is from, please elaborate on the conditions for pre-cooling before storage and preconditioning after storage in onion and drawbacks. I think I mentioned this one. The drawbacks I have mentioned, everything is being influenced. Pre-cooling, why it is important, that also I discussed. Because see, the produce is at around 40 degrees Celsius, 45 degrees Celsius in the field. And at that temperature, the respiration rates are very high. And if we are directly going to place it in 0 degrees Celsius, that is not going to work. So we need to pre-cool the produce. Pre-cooling is done to remove the vital heat of the produce, to lower its respiration rate, and to condition it for storage. So the time, temperature, and the rate, it is going to be different based on different crops. But in general, as I told also, you have to reduce it around 20 degrees Celsius. So for leafy vegetables, we use package icing that will reduce the temperature to 0 to 2 instantly. For hydro cooling, we can do for carrot and all. But for onion and potato, we cannot go for hydro cooling. The pre-cooling method is also varying. Time used is very less. You just need to lower the temperature. The pre-cooling temperature generally it will vary for potato, onion, tomato around. See, the storage temperature is around 0 degrees Celsius, so you can go to 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. And the next question was preconditioning after storage in onion. If you don't do
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
yeah.
So I think this is the question what ma'am is reading now. After that, if people want, they can directly raise their hand. We will unmute them and they can ask those
Okay.
questions. Okay, so I think that will even be easier.
There is
So
one more
yeah,
question from Mahima.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What has been your experience with shelf life enhancement solutions that can be sprayed on the produce? What are the pros and cons of such solutions? Okay, this is a good question actually. See, the experience has been both positive and negative, yes, but mostly there are some shelf life enhancement solutions which really work wonders. Most important is temperature management. Then there are some chemicals, edible coatings, you can say. These are of different types: polysaccharide, lipid, protein based. And among these edible coatings, many are really working very nicely. They are really extending shelf life by about 10 days. 10 days is not less, because see, we interact with the farmers frequently, and they say that even if shelf life is increased by 2 days, our job is done, because it just needs to go into market and we are going to sell it. Those who don't go for this one, storage and processing, I'm talking about those. So pros are there, and if you talk about cons, only it is that it is not expensive also, because we cannot go for expensive solutions, because ultimately it is the farmer and the consumer we have to see. We just don't need to extend shelf life and it becomes unmarketable because of the very high price. The cons will be only that you have to put in extra effort. Otherwise, I don't see any other cons. You have to put in extra effort. You have to see that you put the effort for the this one, enhancing the
Thank you,
shelf
ma'am.
life.
Okay, so thank you so much. I think now we have question from Mr. Arun Mehta. So Bhairav sir, can you unmute Mr. Arun Mehta? He has
Yes,
raised
please.
his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr.
please
Mehta,
unmute him.
please unmute yourself.
Okay, you have the access, Mr. Arun. So can you unmute and ask your question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, we
yes.
can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I'm Arun Mehta. I'm working basically consultant in Reliance.
Okay.
So I have few questions. First question is that how we can store tomato for 2 months, which will be helpful for the processing industry in India.
Okay. Any other question?
Other question is that how we can store washed potato and how many days we can store.
Washed potato, I don't know what you mean by that.
Washed, because there is a lot of demand nowadays for washed potato, which is white color. You just wash them, scrub them, make it marketable and very shiny and good looking.
White potato? Sorry, you are talking about potato or tomato? Second
Potato.
one. Potato.
There are huge demand of washed potato in India.
I
So how
think
many
what
days we
you
can store and how we can store?
See, by washed, I think you mean clean. Okay.
washing
And
through
if you,
water, I
Washed,
think.
washed.
yes, wash water for cleaning, है ना?
Yeah.
So first question was tomato 2 months. First of
Yes.
all, 2 months, for 2 months, we need to see the genotype, the variety selection. Every variety cannot be stored, as I told earlier also. Next, when you find a good variety and if you go for optimum storage, see, if you want for 2 months, you have, in my presentation, the answers were there. You have to add them. If you harvest it in green mature stage and then you store it, definitely you are going to have a better shelf life, because it will take time for ripening, and by the time it ripens you will have some 15 days additional.
I will stop you here.
Yeah.
Is anybody storing tomato in India for 2 months?
That I don't know. That I don't know.
Is anybody storing for 1 month?
I don't know that also, that who is storing for what period.
Because the industry, we are the industrial people.
Yes.
Tomato, we also try to store. Hardly
Yes.
we can store for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And that also breaker stage.
Yes, you are right. You are right. Yes.
Something.
Yes.
So is there any mechanism which we can increase the shelf life of potato?
See, I think 3 weeks. 3 weeks is the current this one. You are very correct. For 2 months, we have to see many things and we have to plan and we have to check. Because I have also personally not worked on tomato. I have worked on brinjal mainly. 3 weeks is the norm at this temperature.
Can we
But
do ethylene absorbing mechanism to
yes, we
enhance
can
the
do that
life?
also. Yes, we can
Will
do
it
that
help
also.
tomato?
Yes, it will definitely help. See, there are many mechanisms, and obviously, if we go for hurdle like practice, if we store, if we do everything, obviously, we will get an extension. It is surely there. You
Is
can see the.
anybody did the trial in IERI, PUSA or somewhere else regarding that?
I think for putting in every mechanism we have not done that. Combined combinatorial approach has not been done. But yes, there are many single approaches, and they are all extending life because they are inhibiting the process itself. And there are many other chemicals also. There is one methyl cyclopropene chemical here, and that is also inhibiting the deterioration very well, but that has not been approved in our country till now. It has been approved and used in many countries, around 90 countries it is approved, but it is not being used in our country. So there are many mechanisms and research is going on.
In this forum, if you elaborate how we can enhance the shelf life of tomato in cold store by different mechanisms, that will be helpful for the people.
I think I told that already. Yes, you can manage ethylene. You also told you can manage ethylene. There are
So
many
one more
ways.
question is that you mentioned that medium size onion should be stored, and you
Yes.
mentioned 50 to 80 mm. But
Yes.
80 mm is considered extra large onion, not medium.
Yes, that will be 50 to 60 around.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a 50 to
Mr.
60 mm.
Arun,
Yes.
because we have a limited time, so if you have question, we request you to mail it to us. We'll definitely share with Dr. Swati Sharma.
I have a very long list of questions.
We'll be happy to
You can mail
help
them
you
to
out,
me.
sir, and we'll
Yeah.
definitely discuss with Swati Sharma and give you a appropriate answer. We'll try to
One more question
answer
just to
questions.
answer here. You told about the low sugar potato, and
Yes.
you told we can store that in ambient temperature.
Yes.
Low sugar tomato is basically CIPC tomato, and CIPC tomato required temperature, not ambient.
See, those are different purposes. I didn't tell that for low sugar you have to store in this one non-refrigerated only. I didn't tell that one.
CIPC
I
storage, what
told
temperature is required?
what?
For CIPC potato storage, what temperature is required?
That is fine. That you have to store in cold storage. That is not the concern.
At what
I
temperature?
told. अरे
At what temperature
सुन
we
तो
can
लो
store? बोलो.
सुन तो लो भाई.
जी.
जब आपने 10 to 12 पे स्टोर किया है तो उसमें शुगर कंटेंट शुगर कन्वर्जन जो है वो कम होगा, और जब आप हाई पे स्टोर करते हो तो उसमें भी कम होगा. बात ये थी कि वो जो आप नॉन रेफ्रिजरेटेड स्टोरेज में कर रहे हैं उसमें भी लो शुगर है. ये नहीं, उसमें नॉर्मल जो डॉर्मेंसी है उसमें स्लाइड्स में लिखा भी है कि उनकी जो नॉर्मल डॉर्मेंसी है 2 months की वो हम लोग यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं. दैट इज व्हाई वी आर स्टोरिंग इट इन नॉन रेफ्रिजरेटेड. इफ यू वांट टू स्टोर इट ओनली फॉर शॉर्ट पीरियड, इट इज नॉट दैट
डॉर्मेंसी नहीं बचती है, पोटैटो शिविल्ड हो जाता है, मार्केटिंग लायक नहीं बचता है.
ऑब्वियसली उसमें वो भी लिखा है, उसमें वो भी लिखा है कि उसमें हाई वेट लॉस होगा, उसमें हाई रॉटिंग आएगी, वो लिखा है. बट एवरीबॉडी इज नॉट हैविंग एक्सेस टू कोल्ड स्टोर ओनली, सो दैट इज अ मेथड.
खत्म हो जाता है ना, वो मार्केटिंग लायक नहीं बिकता है, रिटेल चेन
Yeah,
नहीं
thank
बिकती
you,
है.
Mr. Arun. I
that
think
we
we
know.
will definitely get
That
back
we
to you. You please mail your questions, and I think then we'll try to answer. So thank you,
So
Mr.
that we
Arun.
can have the other presenters also.
Yeah, we can have other presenters also. So, so just one last minute. If is there any other question person who wants to ask any question to Dr. Swati Sharma? Please raise your hand so that we can unmute you. If not, then we can go for another session, and you can mail your questions to us, and we'll definitely try to answer those questions. Okay, so there's one last question from Mr. Mukesh. I think he has posted on the chat box. So his question is, because even though in these present days we have many storage and processing opportunities and technologies, why these are not reaching the small and marginal farmer? Where are the gaps and challenges? So thank you, Mr. Mukesh, for asking the question. Swati ma'am, you want to answer this question?
See, there are many gaps and challenges. Okay, first of all is what is the resources you are having. Okay, रिसोर्स की बात है, वैरायटी की बात है, एक चीज की ये बात है नहीं, जब आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन होगी नहीं तो आप उसको फॉलो भी नहीं कर पाएंगे। और कई बार क्या होता है कि आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन होती भी है पर आप उसको रिसोर्स की वजह से फॉलो अप नहीं कर पाते हैं, आप उसको नीड नहीं समझते हैं। जैसे अगर आप शेल्फ लाइफ एक्सटेंशन की बात करते हो, इफ यू आर गोइंग टू सेल द प्रोड्यूस इन 2 days, यू डोंट नीड दैट टेक्नोलॉजी। तो आपको लगता है कि ठीक है वेस्ट ही हो जा रहा है, थोड़ा कम दाम मिल जा रहा है, बट हमें इसमें एडिशनल एफर्ट नहीं डालना है, because when you put effort you will need time and money also. So if your produce is getting sold in that days even at a little bit lower prices, so many times we feel that it is okay. And for processing opportunities we see industry is very much required, because at small scale farmers can do, FPOs can do, and they are doing also. It is not like they are not doing. Many FPOs have come to us for training also. They are doing it at a small scale, but for bigger scale you need bigger infrastructure. And as I told, industry ke sath linkage chahiye, processing varieties chahiye, so there are many kinds of gaps and challenges. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, so I think Mr. Mukesh, if you want anything on this, you can unmute, you can ask, we can unmute you, or else we can go for the next session. Okay,
I
so
think,
I think
Prashant, let's go ahead because we're running out, and we'll ask Mukesh to either email.
Yes, Mr. Mukesh. Yeah, Mr. Mukesh, unmute yourself.
So how can we mitigate these challenges? So because most of the farmers are not aware of these, these technologies and these opportunities. So how can we build the, for the
Your voice is not very clear. Please come again.
no. So how can we build these the farmers to come up?
There is some
Uh,
disturbance. There is some disturbance. Please.
there's some background noise at your end, Mr. Mukesh. So I think there's, so maybe you can mail those questions. We'll definitely get back to you. And
is it fine now?
Yes.
I think still again there's some background noise. So I think we have to go to the next session. So I just want to thank first of all Dr. Swati Sharma for
Okay,
taking
okay.
this session. And we would like to go to next session, which is from Mr. Sagar Bendre. He's from New Leaf Dynamics, and they are basically into providing a cooling solution based out of this biomass. So over to you, Mr. Sagar Bendre.
Please 1 second. Prashant and Madam,
Yes.
Sangeeta Madam, I will like to take your leave because I have some other appointment also. And thank you for this opportunity. If there are any further queries, because queries will be many. Post-harvest is a field where queries will be many. So you can mail them to me and I'll try to answer, try my best. Okay, thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much for your time. We'll definitely reach out to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, Prashantji, am I audible?
Yes, Sagarji, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Screen is visible.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah, thanks.
All right. So good morning, namaste everyone. So I'm Sagar Vendre. So I'm representing Newly Dynamic Technologies here. So I will, I mean, my slides are in English, but I will go ahead with the English and Indian mix up. So like all the audience can understand clearly, and we can, for further questions, we can connect in the question and answer session or something. So today's business for sustaining business, the key characteristics needed is a effective and efficient solution, be it a cold chain business or be it any different kind of agri business. So our founder, Mr. Anurag Agarwal and Akash Agarwal, started designing our this efficient green chill product in 2012, which is a completely biomass powered biomass waste heat or any kind of the biogas run cold storage mechanism, which is completely suitable for the farm gate or the first mile food preservation. So with this vision, our commercial operation started in 2018, and currently we have like 122 sites across 9 states in India. And currently, making this all-in-one cold room accessible at farm gate at small and marginal farmer. That is our key aspect of the business. But we are also supporting with the other ecosystem aspect like end user financing and handholding our end users in the all kind of the crop advisory supports and robust post harvest post sales services. Also, we are facilitating the market linkages for our users. So I will directly jump to the solution. I think in the first session, Dr. Swati ma'am also, in the first part, she mentioned about the gaps in the cold chain, and that is pretty prevalent and crucial in the Indian's context, and it becomes more crucial in the when we talk about the rural India and the businesses and the agriculture related processes in the rural India. So our solution have we can say two parts. One is a biomass powered refrigeration unit, which is completely off-grid and it's a kind of replacement for the compressor technology if we compare with the conventional technology. So it runs on the biomass. So this biomass can be any kind of the agri residue. Let's say cotton waste can be used for that, maize cob or the cashew waste. Any kind of the agri residue which have a good burning combustion value, we can just do the direct combustion in the unit. Other like waste heat in the let's say dairy industry or the waste heat in the any other processing industry, that is also can be utilized to cooling the cold room. Also that also the steam waste steam can be utilized for the same. So our refrigeration unit have a zero global warming potential and zero ozone depletion potential, which is very crucial in current time and also very futuristic, looking towards the environmental goals for the industry whole pollution industry. With this refrigeration unit, so currently we are operating in the 15 metric ton and 20 metric tons capacity. With this refrigeration unit, we can maintain the positive 2 to 25 degrees centigrade temperature inside cold room with humidity control of the 65 to 95%. And we can utilize this for the majorly 4 application, obviously pre-cooling 5 metric ton per day capacity, long-term cold storage of the various fruits, vegetable and flowers which are fit in the positive 2 to 25 degrees centigrade temperature range. We can utilize this for the various fruits ripening also. Our natural dehydrator, that is also another use case. So मैं आगे प्रेजेंटेशन में इसके बारे में इन डेप्थ बताऊंगा. So ये एक हमारे सिस्टम का like overview है कि how it looks. So let's say 20 metric ton का जो unit रहेगा, for that unit per day like biomass requirement will be 50 to 100 kg. So biomass consumption will vary bahar ka temperature, then loading capacity, and at what temperature we are maintaining the cold room temperature, door opening, closing, these 3-4 aspects. Green chill may actually there is no any movable part. So overall maintenance aspect is very easy. So it's completely robust and feasible for the any farm gate solution. Another like very important aspect is इस particular unit को चलाने के लिए 3-phase electricity की जरूरत नहीं होती है. So only single phase electricity of the 0.6 kilowatt is required for running the here controller and some blowers, small pumps. That is also easily we can do solarization with the 1 kilowatt addition of the PV panel. So it can be completely off grid with the off grid. और जहाँ पे भी electricity availability नहीं है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का लाइक रूरल में लाइक अनरिलायबिलिटी इज अ की कंसर्न. तो जो डीसी बैकअप का डीजल जनरेटर का रिक्वायरमेंट चाहिए होता है जब इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं, दैट इज कम्प्लीटली नॉट नीडेड. और इसमें से जैसे मैंने पहले स्लाइड में बोला कि carbon emission, global warming potential, ozone depletion potential is completely zero. So if we compare same 20 metric ton unit with the conventional three-phase electricity run cold room, then the power consumption is a 95% less than same conventional technology. So other aspect is the pre-cooling capacity is a 10 times like higher than the alternate technology, like let's say solar technology, then we can maintain the variable temperature range in the any range between 2 to 25. If we talk about the carbon emission, so एक साल में around let's say 20 metric ton का comparison ले लेंगे तो 40 tons का carbon emission we can save, and the electricity comparison करें तो 45,000 electricity unit का consumption we can save. So ये हमारे कुछ फील्ड के डिप्लॉयमेंट है. सो आवर होल विजन इज टू बिल्ड द ग्रीन वैल्यू चेन and like put our efforts at various aspect varied levels of the value chain. So left side में जो आपको दिख रहा है that is our like site at farm gate, like which is at farmer producer organization. So typically this is a 20 metric ton capacity, and right side में जो दिख रहा है it's a big basket near Bangalore. They have a distribution center, and they have developed like they have adopted this 9 cold room for cooling the 180 metric ton of the various fruits and vegetables. So I will go through the in-depth study of the lemon storage. So this study was from this use case is actual use case from the one of the producer company from Ahmednagar district of Maharashtra. और इसका duration है like mid December 2020 to third week of this March. So हमारे end users में, so this is a site picture actually. So you can see कि 4 PV panel लगा के it's completely off-grid site. You can see the बाहर some biomass is also laying down. Some उनका जो भी agri residue that is there, and surrounding is a completely lemon field. So उन्होंने जो mid December में जो lemon का purchase किया था, that was varies from 8 to 20 rupees per kg, और almost 45 metric ton उन्होंने produce hold किया in the first batch. So their investment was around 2 lakh rupees. Or lemon can be stored up to 40 to 50 days very efficiently, very effectively. So unko during that so biomass consumption was around 40 to 100 kgs. Whereas including the labor cost and other like lemon treatment, wax coating, all of this process, their expenses was goes up to 45,000 rupees. Their
Mr.
market,
Sagar?
yes.
Yeah, we have last 2 minutes for your session, so
Yes.
requesting.
Yeah. I will try.
Thank you.
So they could fetch from the almost 7.3 lakh rupees in the same cycle. So net profit in the one cycle was 3.4 lakh rupees. So same customer actually turn around on around 55 metric ton of the lemon storage in 3.5 months. Their overall losses was below 3%, and the cooling cost of the biomass was like less than 315 rupees, and on an average they could face the 3.5 times of the market price realization. और इसके पीछे सबसे important aspect था कि like the major analysis is the end user was also very aware about the market trends, and our team is also helped with the different market trends like market कब grow होने वाला है and all of this aspect. Then the robustness of the infrastructure, मतलब इसको कोई 3 फेज या सिंगल फेज इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की जरूरत नहीं, ओनली नीड अ मैनेजमेंट ऑफ द बायोमास. उनके पास वो ऑलरेडी था अवेलेबल, and they use that very effectively. So whole the 2 month duration, all the 3.5 month का जो operation था, it was very hurdle less. Our team is also helping the whole post harvest management. मतलब आप नीचे फोटो देख सकते हैं कि उसका washing से लेके अलग अलग जो ट्रीटमेंट करना है वो कैसे करना है, all of this. So our team helped. All of this actually resulted in the better income nutrition. So I will just quickly go through the other use cases. So this is like we have some impactful cases for the mixed vegetable cases. So mixed vegetable के case में हमने क्या देखा है कि farmers can fetch the like distance market. They can they have a better bargaining power if they have a this kind of infrastructure at their farm gate. Suppose उनके market return को surplus बच जाता है, तो they can easily store and sell out in the next batch. Also they can reduce their logistic cost. So this kind of like benefits occurs in the mixed vegetable cases. Fruits ripening is one of the very beneficial activity for our end users. As a left side you can see ki mango ripening cases are there in last season, and banana ripening is continuously running in like most of our end users in Uttar Pradesh and MP also. So like ripening is very fast process and it requires like 50 to 60 kg biomass per day for one batch. That's it. So overall operating cost is also very less. Our one of the end user Khet Kisan producer company in Uttar Pradesh, they earn like 3 lakh rupees net profit in only first years of the operation. So like other operations, so you can see like mushroom growing, tamarind storage, egg storage, various fruits like orange, then various kind of fruits already stored at our various sites. Dehydration जैसे मैंने बोला कि our aim is to how farmers can increase the utilization throughout the year, because that is actually वो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट और बड़ा हर्डल है, चैलेंजेस है अभी के इकोसिस्टम में कि कोल्ड स्टोरेज का थ्रू आउट द ईयर यूटिलाइजेशन नहीं होता है. दैट्स व्हाई द होल रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट पीरियड इज वेरी हाई. और उसी कारण से एक्चुअली एंड यूजर्स फार्मर्स हो या एफपीओज हो वो asset owned करने को ready नहीं होते. So our aim is to how farmers can increase the utilization. So dehydration is one of the application we give with this purpose only. So we can maintain the temperature like let's say 55 to 60 degrees centigrade temperature inside this cold room with the heat exchanger from our system. And these are the few examples like of the dehydration. So this season means off season for the cold storage, they can use for the dehydration as well.
Nice.
So this is yes, yeah. So yeah, just a second.
Yeah, please.
So this is big basket case study I showed in one of the slide. So उन्होंने 180 metric ton का retrofitting किया था और Mr. Haribajan, CEO of the big basket, also mentioned in one of the report कि they could save 90% their cost reduction at their that distribution center. और उनका जो like annual carbon emission reduction was also 186 metric ton, and they publish in their recent big basket ESG goals also. Yeah, that's it from my side. So happy to take the questions from all the participants.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Sagar, first of all, for the presentation. And we'll go for a combined Q&A session after having all the presentation from the cooling service provider representatives. So then we'll go for the questions. So thank you so much, Mr. Sagar.
Sure. Thank you.
And now I request Mr. Karbhari Munde from ECOZEN to go ahead and start your session on cooling solutions from ECOZEN. Thank you. Mr. Karbhari, can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Sure. So request you to please share screen, and if possible, please turn on your camera so that people can see you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Please go ahead, sir. Thank you.
So thanks for giving this opportunity to represent ECOZEN. Here, thanks for setting the context by Swati ma'am and Sagar. So they have reduced my content to present, and that's why we will be able to save on our content and we will be more open to the question and answer. So myself, Karbhari Munde, I am product manager with ECOZEN Solutions. So we are in existence since last 12 years. The company was established in 2010 in IIT Kharagpur by three bright students, Mr. Devendra Gupta, Mr. Vivek Pandey, and Mr. Pratik. So thereafter, company moved to Nagpur and then to Pune. So in this long journey, company has significant accomplishments. So in this journey, the company has set a vision to build a smart and sustainable future, and not only from the profit perspective, but for overall good of the community. Is this slide visible now? Second one.
We can see your first slide only, Mr. Karbhari. So if you can scroll down, maybe we cannot see it moving. And now we can see. Yeah. Yes,
properly
Mr.
visible.
Yes, Mr. Karbhari, your second slide is now visible. You can go ahead with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. So So far, company has made a very good journey. The numbers here are need an updation. So the flagship products the company has started with is Ecotron solar pump. Milestone of 1 lakh solar pumps, and in a other perspective, I would say in every 4 pumps you would be able to see 1 pump from the ECOZEN on the field. So we have a market share of around 20 to 25% in Indian scenario. However, we also have global footprints in African market as well as markets in Southeast Asia as well. Our second product is the EcoFrost. So we had started with Ecotron by building controllers and integrating other systems like pumps and motors. But going forward, we found that the need is after productivity increase from the farmer side, there is need to preserve the produce. So therein the idea of EcoFrost came in. So first product was conceptualized in the year 2014, and after that we have moved on upgrading it. So so far here this year we have cumulatively crossed 600 mark. So in India we have crossed 500 plus, and in other countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and parts of Africa and Southeast Asia, we have a presence. So we as a company are we as an Indian company, I would say, we are the pioneers, and a proud moment for each and every Indian. So this is completely homegrown technology in the campus of IIT Kharagpur, and later on its newer versions came in. Is this visible, Prashant? Can you confirm, please, so that I can go ahead?
We can see your second slide, Mr. Karbari. It has not moved to third slide now. Now it is there. Now it is there. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you. So as a company now, we have kind of diversified over the years. So in addition to solar power cold storages and solar irrigation pumps, the company has other verticals, because the technology stacks which are available with us in solar cold room and solar irrigation pumps can also be diversified to certain other areas. The packs of it, rather the modules of it, can be utilized in other areas. So we have third vertical, which is motor controls, wherein we can contribute to emerging technologies with energy efficient motors. We have AI solutions wherein certain applications can be enhanced by putting our IoT solutions in it. Also, we have energy storage, since our solar cold room is enabled with thermal energy storage. So the time is apt to implement the thermal energy storage in other applications, wherein a sustainability angle is of utmost importance for the industry to deploy it in. So coming to the agenda of the discussion, आज के तारीख में ऐसा है कि इवन दो फार्मर ने फसल अच्छे से उगाई, उसका अच्छे से हार्वेस्टिंग वगैरह किया, लेकिन सही दाम मिलने तक या तो फसल खराब हो जाती है, या तो सही दाम मिलने के लिए उसको मार्केट तक जाना होता है. सो इन चीज़ों के कारण हो सकता है कि मार्केट में सही दाम मिल भी जाए, बट तब तक बहुत सारा फसल जो है खराब हो जाता है. तो उनके कारण वो जो इंक्रीज इन यील्ड है वो महसूस नहीं होता है. सो आर देयर एनी टेक्नोलॉजीज विच कैन रिड्यूस दैट? सो ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट लेकर के ये प्रोडक्ट कंसेप्चुअलाइज किया गया था. दिस इज वर्ल्ड्स लीडिंग सोलर कोल्ड रूम. सो थोड़ा सा मैं स्पेसिफिक्स में जाता हूँ प्रोडक्ट के, कि ये कंप्लीटली ऑफ ग्रिड सोलार सॉल्यूशन है, जो सोलार से कनेक्ट होने के बावजूद अगर चाहे तो उसको हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी या जनसेट से भी चला सकते हैं. 3 फेज सिंगल फेज दोनों चल सकता है. ये सब्जी, फूल, फल, इनके लिए जो टेम्परेचर लगता है 4 से 15 डिग्री का, ये सभी में कंपैटिबल है. और ऐसा है कि इसमें मल्टीपल फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स भी एक साथ रख सकते हैं, जो कि आपको कोई टेम्परेचर सेटिंग या करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. विथ इट्स स्मार्ट AI ऑन द मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन, ये आप सेलेक्ट करके चूज कर सकते हो. ये दुनिया का पहला एंड एकमात्र ऐसा सॉल्यूशन है जो जिसको ऑपरेट करने के लिए कोई बटन की जरूरत नहीं है। ये मोबाइल या फिर डैशबोर्ड से ऑपरेट कर सकते हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो फार्मर्स है या एंड यूजर है उनको एक फ्रीडम मिलता है कि वो कहीं से भी अपना डिवाइस जो है वो कंट्रोल कर सके, ऑन कर सकते हैं, ऑफ भी कर सकते हैं। जो नमी है कोल्ड रूम के अंदर, जैसा स्वाति मैम ने कंटेक्स्ट सेट किया था कि नमी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर है जो फसल को लंबे समय तक प्रिजर्व करने के लिए हेल्प करता है। तो ये कंट्रोल करना भी काफी बहुत जरूरी होता है। तो 65 to 90% जो ह्यूमिडिटी रेंज है विच इज साइंटिफिकली रिकमेंडेड, वो हम इस डिवाइस में कर सकते हैं। कंसिडरिंग नॉन सनशाइन आवर्स, क्या होता है कि दिन में तो सोलार है बट रात के टाइम पे क्या, या फिर जब सोलार एनर्जी नहीं है तब क्या, तो वो टाइम पे इसमें थर्मल एनर्जी बैकअप है जो कि हम कहते हैं कि बैटरी लेस है। यहाँ पे वाटरी लिक्विड स्टोर किया हुआ है जो कि एनवायरमेंटली सेफ है, जिसके कारण दिन में साइमल्टेनियसली कोल्ड रूम ठंडा करते करते ही ये बैटरी लेस बैकअप बिल्ड करता है, जिसके कारण नॉन सनशाइन आवर्स में अप टू 30 आवर्स ये ठंडाई जो है मेंटेन करके रखेगा। आज की तारीख में हमारे पास डिफरेंट वेरिएंट्स है, 2 मेट्रिक टन से लेकर 10 मेट्रिक टन, 20 मेट्रिक टन, इवन वी कैन गो अप टू 40 मेट्रिक टन। कुछ सॉल्यूशंस हमारे जैसे 2 मेट्रिक टन, 5 मेट्रिक टन, ये पोर्टेबल यूनिट्स है, ताकि आप जहाँ पे लगाए हैं वहाँ पे नीड खत्म होने के बाद आप दूसरी जगह पे ले जा करके फिर से लगा सकते हो। तो इसके कारण ये एक अगेन लिबर्टी मिल जाती है कि आप आज फार्म गेट पे लगाए हो, महीना 2 महीने के बाद मार्केट में लगाते हो, फिर उसके बाद थर्ड लोकेशन पे, ये भी एक सिनेरियो पॉसिबल है। ये यूनिट जो है इज having enabled it is enabled with IoT, which gives us the sensory capabilities on the mobile application, जिसके कारण हम देख भी सकते हैं कि यूनिट में क्या चल रहा है। 120 पैरामीटर्स हम इस पे मैप कर सकते हैं कि कितना बैटरी बैकअप बचा है, कितना थर्मल बैकअप बचा है, ह्यूमिडिटी लेवल क्या है, बाहर का टेम्परेचर कितना है। सो ऑल दीज पैरामीटर्स 120 पैरामीटर हम यहाँ पे ट्रैक कर सकते हैं। लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, यहाँ पे हमारा एक IoT टूल है जो कि प्रेडिक्ट करता है कि व्हाट कैन गो रॉन्ग इन द सिस्टम इन द कोर्स ऑफ टाइम। जैसे कि ये सिस्टम्स रिमोटली लगे रहेंगे, एंड फॉर एनी कंपनी टू हैव अ सर्विसिंग कैपेबिलिटी, ये चीज़ बहुत काम में आती है। बिफोर गेटिंग इट एनी रादर डाउन विथ सर्टन थिंग, हमें ये सेंस होता है कि यहाँ पे कुछ तो खराबी होने वाली है, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली वी कैन अपडेट द कस्टमर। लाइक एक छोटा सा उदाहरण कहना चाहूँगा कि मान लो 8-10 दिन तक किसी ने रादर कुछ लंबे समय तक किसी ने अगर सोलार पैनल नहीं ये करे, क्लीन करे, तो सिस्टम जो है ऑटोमेटिकली डिटेक्ट करती है कि सोलार एनर्जी कम जनरेट हो रहे हैं, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली उसके नोटिफिकेशंस यूजर को जाते हैं। सो इस तरीके से ये सिस्टम को जो है काइंड ऑफ इंटेलिजेंट बनाया है, और जिसके कारण ये आपको असिस्ट करती है टू टेक फर्दर डिसीजंस।
Mr. Karbari,
Yeah.
last 2 minutes left, so we request you if you can share those success stories also in this last 2 minutes.
Certainly. So, thank you. So these are again detailed thing which has been discussed earlier. So as a offering, we have two models. One is the outright purchase, and the next one is the lease model. Although cooling as a service is also an option which we are yet to explore, but ये दो मॉडल तो आज के तारीख में अवेलेबल है. सो एक हमारे चुनिंदा पुराने कस्टमर्स में से एक प्रगति FPO है, जिन्होंने 2017 में ये यूनिट लगाया था. ये हमारा ओल्डेस्ट जनरेशन का यूनिट है, बट आज के तारीख में वो एकदम अच्छे से चलता है, जिसके कारण कस्टमर इज हैप्पी एंड ऑलवेज ब्रॉडकास्टिंग हिज सक्सेस स्टोरीज. तो कुछ उनका एग्जाम्पल ऐसा है कि वो कनेक्टेड है करीबन 1000 फार्मर्स से, जिनमें से 200 फार्मर जो है वो फूल उगाते हैं. तो आपको पता है कि फूल का जो पेरिशेबिलिटी इज वेरी हाई, और उसका जो स्टोरेज कंडीशंस है आर वेरी क्रिटिकल. तो जिसके कारण या तो मतलब किसान को काफी अच्छा फायदा होगा या तो बहुत भारी नुकसान हो जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे जब भी उन्होंने ये सोचा था कि क्या करें, तो हमने उनको कन्विंस किया कि हम आपको हेल्प कर सकते हैं। तो ड्यूरिंग दैट फेज जब हमने यूनिट लगाया तो दे कुड सी दैट उनका जो ये है रेट है वो 30 रुपए से बढ़ करके 60 रुपए तक मिल रहा था, जिसके कारण उनको दुगना मुनाफा हुआ। दूसरा था कि बिकॉज ऑफ द एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशंस इन विच द कमोडिटी स्टोर्ड, ये काफी अच्छा रहा, जिसके कारण उनका जो रेट है वो मिलने में उनको आसानी हो गई। दूसरा हमारा एक इट इज देयर आर मेनी स्टोरीज बट आउट ऑफ दिस आई हैव चोजन फ्यू। ये है ग्रेन रिलेटेड। जो बीन्स होते हैं वो जो बीन्स होते हैं जब भी कोल्ड स्टोर में स्टोर किए हैं तो उनका जो मॉइस्चर एंड टेम्परेचर लेवल है वो सर्टन पैरामीटर्स में मेंटेन करना रहता है, अदरवाइज वो कीड़े लग जाते हैं एंड जिसके कारण फिर एक क्लस्टर उनका कम हो जाता है, तो मार्केट में रेट कम मिलता है। तो ऐसे ही एक टेलुकुडू में हमारे कस्टमर है आंध्र प्रदेश के जिन्होंने ये स्टोर किया था, तो जब उनको मार्केट में 32 रुपए रेट मिल रहा था तो उन्होंने बेचा नहीं, बट हालांकि उन्होंने चूज किया कि कोल्ड स्टोर में रखेंगे, तो उनको 41 रुपीज का रेट मिला, जिसके कारण उनको 9 रुपीज का बढ़ोतरी, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट 25 to 30% का उनको मुनाफा हुआ। ये हमारे केनिया के कस्टमर है जो हमारे पार्टनर के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। जो एवोकाडो फ्रूट होता है उनको प्रिजर्व करना एक बहुत चैलेंजिंग टास्क होता है, बिकॉज वो इटसेल्फ इज एथिलीन जनरेटिंग फ्रूट। तो उन्होंने मतलब एक ही सीजन में 24,000 केनियन शिलिंग्स का मुनाफा होने के कारण दे वर वेरी हैप्पी। सो ही टोल्ड दैट ही कुड अफोर्ड हिज सन्स एजुकेशन नाउ। लास्ट बट नॉट द लिस्ट, लेमन का हमारा काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग केस स्टडी है, जो कि जनवरी के फर्स्ट वीक में लास्ट अभी जो जनवरी है गया है, जनवरी के फर्स्ट वीक में एक किसान ने लेमन्स रखे थे जो कि प्रोक्योरमेंट कॉस्ट वाज 60 पैसे पर पीस, एंड फिर वो 52 दिन के बाद 52 डेज के बाद उनको 2 रुपया पर पीस का रेट मिला। एंड आज के तारीख में अगर आप अगर मार्केट में जाओगे तो 5-6 रुपया रेट चल रहा है पर पीस का। So this is the extent to which a farmer or an aggregator can earn when he installs the cold room. So having said that, and I would like to thank you all for listening to me patiently, and I'm open to have any questions. So I urge you to let's join hands to build the better future. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Karbari, for this presentation. It was really knowledgeable and helpful for us. So now as we discussed that we'll go for Q&A at last of this session. So I would like to invite Mr. Rahul Kapoor from Carrier so that he can present about cooling solutions from Carrier. So thank you, Mr. Karbari. Now you can stop sharing your screen. And Mr. Rahul, do you want to share your screen and can you introduce yourself? Mr. Rahul, I think there's some issue. Bhaira sir, have you given access to Mr. Rahul?
Yes.
Yeah, now we can hear you, Mr. Rahul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
So yeah, please share your screen and turn
Yes,
on your
I'm doing
camera.
it. Yes, I'm doing it. Just a moment, please. Prashant, I will be able to add the computer sound as well, right?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, let's try this out without losing any more time. So thank you, gentlemen, and Sangeeta and Swati is not here, Dr. Swati with us. So team, thank you so much for sharing the content. Without losing any more time, I will just set a little background to the discussions from my side, of Carrier side, as one of the leading technology providers in the refrigeration. So whatever Dr. Swati said in the beginning and the other presenters have spoken about, we have multiple layer and multiple level technology available to store fruits and vegetable pack houses, and we can execute in a number of different ways as required. The whole thing depends upon the larger vision of an FPO or farmer producer company or a horticulturist or whichever ways you would like to set this up. There are some customers who like to give technology the benefit, like Dr. Swati was saying, that by using a particular technology, if you are able to extend the shelf life of the produce by maybe 48 hours, very good. Some say for 48 hours, we would like to go for the low cost option. Some customers have their own ESG targets. So they design and define the technology, what they use, basis their own requirement. But in a nutshell, if I have to give a very simple conclusion, I will put it this way, that as technology provider, we have different varieties of technologies available with us to offer you consistent temperature using lowest power consumption. Now using certain refrigerants which have much lower GWP than before. So yes, please shoot out your questions at the end of this presentation. We can talk more in detail, but considering time we have in hand, I would like to start my presentation by showing you by telling what was the carrier commercial refrigeration. So we are one organization which is very unique because we serve you across the cold chain from farm to fork. So we can offer you the pre-cooling solutions at the farm level. We can offer you distribution centers. We offer you transport solutions for the last mile. And of course, we offer you the retail solutions. We do this by using different technologies as shown on the bottom left side of the screen. Uh, very different technologies from each other, very differently designed. And we have internal teams to design, conceive, and actually materialize your projects in totality, including lifespan service of your products. I will now take you through one video, which is a case study of one of our customers. We did this project here. This was a similar FPO, not an FPO, but an individual who was struggling to hold the shelf life of his produce, which is Kinu, and how certain modifications in the design and offering them the right solution help them increase not only the shelf life, but increase the profitability also multiple times.
Though we cannot hear the audio in this video, Mr. Rahul.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Give me a moment.
On the share option at the top, sir, you have.
Yeah, I was not able to click that. I was not able to click it. I was not
you're
able
not
to
able,
click there.
not able to click.
Yeah.
If you want, I can play that video for you if it is okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Please do that because when I was trying to click in there, I was not able to click. So maybe if you can kindly do that.
Sure, I'll share my screen and then I'll just play that.
Kino is a relatively new member of the citrus family. This fruit is rich in mineral and vitamins and is gaining popularity. Abohar is a small town in the state of Punjab in North India. It is one of the few places in the world suited to grow kinos. In the current process, after harvesting during winter season, the fruit is cleaned, waxed, sorted, and packed. The kinos are then sent to the markets, usually by open trucks. As a consequence, a high share of the kino is wasted during the hot season. It does not reach all the potential markets in India and abroad. Carrier decided to work with the National Center for Cold Chain Development India to conduct a pilot project to extend the holding life of the fruit so that it can reach Bangalore and South India during the hot season. With this purpose, Carrier identified Balaji Kinos, one of the largest aggregator in the region, to set up a cold chain.
ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਪ੍ਰੀ ਕੂਲਿੰਗ ਸਾਡੇ ਏਰੀਆ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੈਰੀਅਰ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੀ ਕੂਲਿੰਗ ਲਵਾਇਆ ਫਿਰ ਕੈਰੀਅਰ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟਰੱਕ ਮੰਗਾਏ ਉਹ ਬੰਗਲੌਰ ਵੀ ਗਿਆ, ਕੇਰਲਾ ਦੀ ਮੰਡੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਕੁਛ ਗਿਆ, ਚੇਨਈ ਵੀ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਰਸ਼ੀਆ ਵੀ ਗਿਆ, ਦੁਬਈ ਵੀ ਗਿਆ ਔਰ ਬੰਗਲਾਦੇਸ਼ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਭੇਜਿਆ।
Balaji added carrier cold chain solutions at the two key steps of the cold chain, preconditioning and connecting. The cold chain not only enables the consumers in the south of India to enjoy freshly squeezed quinoa juice, but it also helps in reducing wastage together with the associated carbon emissions, while enhancing the farmer's income. This project eventually reinforces the government commitment to set up cold chain infrastructure for the local farmers.
कोल्ड चेन जो है जी वो हमारे फार्मर्स के लिए एक नई चीज़ है, नया सब्जेक्ट है। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਬੜਾ ਉਦਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਕੋਲਡ ਚੇਨ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਸਬਸਿਡਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ।
The positive outcome of the field study has sparked interest in the region, with several farmers interested in implementing the carrier cold chain solutions.
Yeah, so I think I'll stop sharing. You can share your screen. Yeah. Thank you. You can
Thank you.
unmute.
Thank you, Prashant. Yeah.
please.
So what I would like to tell at the end of this video is, it is not really necessary that we have to implement the technology only at this first stage. Even if you have an existing warehouse, existing pack house, existing cold storage, and if there is something new which you would like to do, you can talk to us as a technology provider. With the help of all different customers we cater to, we learn every day. And with those learnings, we can help you guys, include the new technologies at the different levels of the projects wherever you are. This is only one such study. I would just like to briefly touch upon another case study which we executed in Kashmir, in which we are able to store the apple for more than 6 months without using controlled atmospheric technology. I think this is very important for you to understand when I say this, without using CA technology. Just by delivering customer the right temperature, right humidity, and the right air flow, and with the support from the customer that who brings the apple in the way it should come inside the cold storage, we are able to hold Kashmir apples without using CA for over 6 months. And such case studies do give us a lot of confidence that yes, if need be, and if brought in the picture at the right level with the right intent, we can definitely help increase the shelf life of the product by using correct technology. So last part of my presentation today, these are the different applications we work with in warehousing, food processing, other applications like graphic industry, heat pumps, sports facilities. So we've got solution for everything you need. We got to cover. Primarily coming to the subject today, in a typical pack house, the compressor consumes the most power, which is about 68%. Not only the power, which makes the compressor more different than others, but the other aspect also. That other aspect is, every time compressor achieves the desired temperature conditions inside the cold chamber, compressor turns off. And then after a little gap, as set by the technician, could be 2 degrees, could be 5 degrees, could be 8 degrees, compressor turns back on. This happens very usually in the single commodity source like potato, where typically the farmers or the cold storage owners will run their project or run their cold store only for 6 hours a day after the loading period. They feel the temperature of potato is consistent, so no need to run the plant consistently, and they reduce their power bills by manually switching off the system. But if we really break the potato and look into the quality, we will find out by giving continuous thermal shock of temperatures
Mr.
to the
Rahul,
potato. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
request
Prashant.
you that we have last 2 minutes, so please.
Yeah, it's the last part, Prashant also.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So what I was saying is, by giving continuous thermal shock to the potato, we actually deteriorate the nutritional level of the potato. So like Mr. Alok from Reliance was asking, all these little factors do play a bigger part in the overall shelf life of the produce. And this is the technology which I would like to just briefly touch upon, which is called inverter. Like you may have used inverter condensing units or inverter air conditioners at your home. The benefit is this compressor does not turn off. So when we achieve the room temperature of 0 degree or 2 degree or 6 degree or 8 degree, whatever, this compressor will continue to run as per the load requirements, but at a much lower frequency level. But when it runs at a lower frequency level, it consumes lower power. Because it consumes lower power and it is running at a lower frequency, this generates much lower noise levels. This consumes much lower energy. This helps you reduce the food temperature fluctuations by all these little efforts going into the right design. Eventually, it helps you increase the shelf life of the product. I am, for the sake of benefit of time, I will cut my presentation here. But in case any one of you is keen to know more about this technology, which has been running for over 5 years now, Carrier has more than 10,000 units working on inverter technology across Asia. Please do let me know. Thank you, Prashant, and thank you, Swati, and thank you, Dr. Swati, and thank you, Sangeeta.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation, sir. So now I would like to invite our last presenter, which is Mr. Santosh Gupta from Plus Technologies, Plus Advanced Technologist. And after that, we'll open the floor for Q&A session, and then we can, all the participants can ask those questions to this schooling service providers. So over to you, Mr. Santosh. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prashant, for giving me this opportunity. Let me share my screen. I hope it is visible.
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Yeah, so I am Santosh Gupta from Plus Advanced Technology. I'm leading the business of cold chain. So this is all the cold chain, cold room, reefer van, and last mile delivery. So let's say brief about the Plus Advanced Technology was incorporated in 1994 as a bootstrap company, and we had the R&D facility for manufacturing polymers and additives. So that was the first stage of the company, and at the stage of 2007, the company intervened into the field of phase change materials, and that is what currently we are much known in the industry. And at the later stage, company raised fund from Tata Equity Capital and expanded its facility to do more research and developed commercialized product which are now used in many sectors, from heating to cooling, for pharma, healthcare sector, cold chain, last mile delivery, HVAC, mass effect kind of things, so that the energy efficiency can be achieved. These are the major things. To mention here, company, it's now a group company of Murugappa. Carbondum Universal, it's a subsidiary of Carbondum Universal QME, and which has acquired us in October 2021. So we are a group company of Murugappa. So currently our products are sold in many countries, over 20 countries. Our presence is there in terms of our products. So coming to the solution here, I will go to the PCM, what PCM basically stands for, and how it is useful in our day-to-day life, and as well as for the post-harvest management. So PCM, which changes phase. So simply take an example of water. Water changes its phase from liquid to solid. 0 डिग्री पे पानी जो लिक्विड रहता है वो सॉलिड में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, and that solid phase, it will maintain the temperature of 0 degree until and unless completely it's convert again into water. So a lot amount of energy is stored at 0 degree when the phase is changed. So that is called a thermal battery, and these are the PCM for the variety of application. As a company, we produce PCM from minus 75 degree to positive 89 degrees Celsius. Sorry, just about something. So at minus ultra low temperature, there are various applications which is used for the medical vaccine transportation for ultra low temperature, like also for the storage of frozen items where the ice cream and peas, meat, all those things come. For the chilled application, normally for fruits and vegetables that comes for our day-to-day life uses. For human comfort, this can also be used, and it is being used in various industry uh, abroad, like in Europe and other countries. For drying and heating application, this is also used. So we have solar dryers, which is used for drying the produce, and application and in-house in space heating, where the temperature of ambient temperature is low, like minus 20 or 30. This PCM can be used to keep your house warm by storing the solar energy into it and then utilizing overnight. Let's go to our focus on the temperature control solution for especially for the horticulture produce where this comes from. So looking at the farm level, where farmers are harvesting and unplugging the produce, and many farmer doesn't have that capability or that much of farmland, so that can one time he can harvest the material and bring it to the market. So this kind of small or micro level cold rooms really play a important role here. At farm level, cold rooms which is operated through solar power can be installed at their farm, and whenever they have produce, they can store it for certain number of days, like 2, 3, or maybe a week. And once they have a good quantity of produce, they can bring it to the market by using a refrigerated van or a truck. So we also have this technology which can be fitted into a reefer truck. And once the vehicle is standing, it can be plugged through the power and charged, and it will provide a backup of 10 to 12 hours, so that the whatever produce you have, it can be transported in a temperature controlled manner. Similarly, we have like the last mile delivery boxes. So for a smaller quantity, it can be directly delivered to the customer, and finally it comes to our kitchen. So that is how the complete cold chain exists from farm to the end customer, from storage, transportation, and last mile delivery, and finally to the customer. I'll give an actual pictures of how it looks like. So these are our produce, and the cold room, which is basically operated through solar power. This is the refrigerated van, mentioned the chilled car, and at the bottom side you can see a man using a motorcycle, having a small box loaded with the vegetables. So he's going to sell all the produce, vegetables, by roaming around the city. This kind of vans either can be directly sent to the mandi for the negotiation, or it can, a person who has multiple produce can go to the mandi and sell it directly. So this is a complete range of solution that we provide uh, from our side for the entire cold chain segment. This picture that you are seeing, it's from Odisha, one of the partner company of our company, School Press, is doing in Raurkela. And we have installed one cold room there in Bhadrak district. I'll give you an example of here, where we have done a case study for the similar cold room. A little bit about the technology. So since it is running on solar power, but how will maintain the temperature all around 24 hours. So again, the PCM technologies play the role. As Mr. Kabari mentioned that the watery liquid is filled inside the cold room, and that I also given you an example that water is a good PCM, and which converted its phase at 0 degrees Celsius and maintain a good amount of backup. So similarly, the PCM we have PCM filled inside the PCM plates, which you can see here in the inside the cold room. And this PCM basically what happens in daytime when the sun energy is available, the compressor run and it cools down the PCM. See, at the same moment, rooms is also getting cool, and the PCM get froze. So slowly it releases the energy, and it maintain continuously 24-hour temperature without any additional source of energy. Currently, we have expertise of doing this cold rooms from 5 metric ton to 50 metric ton. This is self-sustainable, it's easy to operate and good at farm level. Let's go into the case study where we have done in Himachal Pradesh with a cluster named the Tinan flower and vegetable cluster. It is at high altitude at 3,100 meter. These villages have very limited time to grow or cultivate, but in that 3 or 4 months of time, they are really doing a tough job here, but good. You can see at that height level, they have built the greenhouse tunnel houses so that the temperature can be achieved and maintained while developing the nursery for the vegetables. Currently, they are doing multiple crops, and it's really changed their life. Around 1.5 years back, we installed few cold rooms over there. At that moment, they were doing few vegetables, cauliflower and lettuce. But currently now they have changed their practices and growing many number of produce like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, strawberry, some beans. Apple is, as you know, in Himachal Pradesh, apple is already there. So the changes that they have come is broccoli, lilium, and cherry. Strawberries are also one of them. By because now the awareness level is high, they know that if they have produce and they can store it and then bring it to the market by aggregating all the produce in a high volume. So now they have more income because they have more bargaining power. They have the negotiation capacity because they are bringing a full load of trucks in the market. Previously, they were limited only up to the Manali city. Now their produce is available nowadays in Azadpur Mandi in Delhi. So this is how a cold room has played importance in their life, and the economy of that entire area has changed. Previously, they have a loss of around 25 to 30% of produce, which has been reduced to 5% only. So this is a very good example of the importance of cold chain in the horticulture produce management and bringing the quality produce to the market. You can see this lilium bulb. This lilium bulb, they are buying it, importing from Holland. It costs them around 40 rupees a piece. They are storing around 1 lakh of lilium bulb. So the temperature is very crucial here while storing these bulbs. These produce are very sensitive to temperature, and a little degree of increase really damage the bulb. It start growing. So a cool room enabled with the PCM where you can maintain constant temperature for long time and operated through solar power. So it has no as such operational cost, just minor things like cleaning of solar panel and maintaining the cleanliness to hygiene level. So these are the things which really required the maintenance. So I show some of the pictures that we have done India and abroad. So the picture that you're seeing, it's from Chennai, Bhadrak. We also have done frozen cold rooms where one of the companies is making gelato and storing it. This picture is from Nigeria. The bottom right one is from Nepal. So you can see how people are storing and using it for multiple variety of produce and at multiple temperatures. Our expertise is, the PCM is ranging from -75 to +89 degrees Celsius. So not only limited to cold room, but also in the heating application. Here the frozen PCM. I would like to mention about one of the things here, that the PCM, once it is designed for a particular temperature, it cannot go for another range of. So suppose that if I have designed my cold room for 2 to 10 degrees Celsius, it cannot be used for higher temperature or lower temperature. So selection is very important here. That is what.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are actually running out of time, so request you to complete this presentation if possible within 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's the case study and all this thing done. So I can close. There are few slides where also that how the company and what are the achievements that we have. It's we are basically a material science research company. So we whatever product the PCM we have, all are patented, and not only in India but also in other countries like USA, Africa, Europe, and South Asia. Few are pending in process. So we are really a strong R&D company and a good range of products which are really benefited to the human society. It's not only limited to the post-harvest management, but the overall sustainable development of our planet. These are the sustainable development goals that we are catering to, and the key recognition that we have received from many organizations, many companies. So we call it a sustainable way and a plus sustainable way. So thank you very much, Prashant, and everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Santosh sir, for your presentation. And now we would like to open this session for asking questions. So anybody has question, they can raise hand and we'll unmute them and you can ask question. We'll try to restrict the Q&A session for latest 15 minutes, not more than that.
I think there's a question from Samarpan FPC.
Yeah, I think one question we have received from Samarpan FPC, want to know product specific solution for cool chain supply of lychee from orchard to retail store. We are using air cargo, so how can manage cold chain in lychee? So this is a question. So Mr. I think from this Samarpan FPC, can you tell us to whom you want to ask this question? Or request Bhairav sir to unmute representative from Samarpan FPC so that they can ask their question. Bhairav sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so just give access to Mr. representative from Samarpan FPC.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you can unmute Mr. From Samarpan FPC. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good afternoon to all. This is Raj from समर्पण FPC. एक्चुअली हम लोग अभी लीची में जस्ट मई से हमारा स्टार्ट होगा लीची प्रोक्योरमेंट एंड मार्केट लिंकेजेस. तो जो हम फार्मर से प्रोक्योरमेंट करते हैं और चार्ट से लेकर के उसको हमारा एक्चुअली कूल चेन जो है वो बाय एक्चुअली ये लीची बहुत पेरिसेबल है, हाईली पेरिसेबल है. तो हमको डे 1 में ही मेट्रो सिटीज़ में उनको पहुंचाना होता है. तो मॉर्निंग में हम लोग हार्वेस्ट करते हैं और उसको इवनिंग या आफ्टरनून की फ्लाइट से भेज देते हैं. तो इवनिंग तक वो हमारे रिटेल और जैसे रिलायंस के या बिग बास्केट के रिटेल वेयर हाउस तक पहुंच जाता है। तो उस ये में सप्लाई चेन में अगर हम कोल्ड चेन की बात करें तो हम लोग अगर ऑड चार्ज से एयर कार्गो तक भेज पाते हैं अगर कोल्ड चेन में, लेकिन वहां से एयर कार्गो में कोई कोल्ड चेन मेंटेन नहीं होता है, तो वो एक थोड़ा सा ब्रेक हो जाता है। तो इसमें हम लोग कैसे, इसका कोई सॉल्यूशन है क्या कि हम लोग मेट्रो सिटीज में मुजफ्फरपुर से अगर हमें मुंबई भेजना हो या हैदराबाद भेजना हो तो छोटा कंसाइनमेंट बन पाता है अगर हम जैसे 500 किलो या 1 MT का 2 MT मैक्सिमम हम लोग डे 1 में हार्वेस्ट कर पाते हैं। ये भी एक हमारा
थैंक यू
क्वेश्चन।
मिस्टर राज। सो ये क्वेश्चन आप किन से पूछना चाह रहे थे? रिप्रेजेंटेटिव में है?
तो कैरियर हैं जैसे जो
अच्छा।
मतलब ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, कोल्ड चेन ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करते हैं।
So Mr. Rahul, can you answer this question from Mr. Raj Samarpan FPC? Mr. Rahul, can you hear us? I think he dropped off.
Will it be okay if I could answer?
Yeah, so Mr. Karbhari will be answering your question, Mr. Raj from ECOZEN. Yeah, please go ahead, Mr. Karbhari.
Yeah, Mr. Raj, as a company, we had got an opportunity in the past to ये ट्रांसपोर्ट करने का हमें मौका मिला था समवेयर इन बिहार टू पुणे। तो हमने जैसा आपको एयर कार्गो का यूज करना पड़ रहा है, हमने बाय रोड था, हम 5 डिग्री टेम्परेचर मेंटेन करने को सजेस्ट करे थे एंड सक्सेसफुली हमने ये पुणे तक लेके आए थे। तो ये हमारे पास एक सक्सेस स्टोरी है। सो हम आपके साथ कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं या तो आफ्टर सम टाइम ड्रॉप योर मैसेज टू प्रशांत जी। और पीएचएम एक्सपर्ट्स, हमारे पास एक पीएचएम टीम है जो आपको ना ही सिर्फ लीची के लिए हेल्प करेगी, बट अगर दूसरे भी फ्रूट्स, फल, सब्जी कुछ है तो उनके ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए भी हम सुझाव दे सकते हैं।
जी जी।
तो प्लीज प्रशांत आपका ये करिए या फिर आपका नंबर शेयर करिए।
मैं डेफिनेटली आपको कनेक्ट करता हूँ मिस्टर राज से, मिस्टर कारभारी। आई थिंक वी हैव हिज नंबर, सो विल डेफिनेटली कनेक्ट यू एंड विल आल्सो कनेक्ट मिस्टर राज टू यू, सो विल शेयर योर कॉन्टैक्ट एज वेल विथ हिम. So thank you, Mr. Karbhari, and thank you, Mr. Raj, for your query. So now next question we have from Mr. Dheeraj. So Bhairav sir, can you unmute Mr. Dheeraj from, I think he is joined as a guest. So
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Dheeraj, you can unmute yourself and ask question.
Yeah, hi, good morning, good afternoon. My question is for, again, our gentleman from ECOZEN, Mr. Karbhari, as well as Mr. Sagar Bendre. I want to understand the cost involved in terms of these units for more of farm gate pricing, basically. And I run I have my own farms as well, and the use case that we are looking for is fruits, basically grapes, guavas, kinus, and jamun.
Sure, sir. Where are you located, sir? Geography wise?
Geography wise, I am in Gurgaon, but I have my farms in Haryana and also in Punjab. That's the Kinu farms.
Okay, sir. Okay, not an issue. Thank you. The thing is that for fruits and vegetables, we do suggest the existing models from 2 metric ton to 10 metric ton. However, we would like to know the capacity range that will be required at your end, looking at the orchard size and other conditions. So,
yeah, hi Prashant, I'm back now.
So as far as range is concerned, the range starts from 10 lakh rupees, and as far as OPEX is concerned,
Prashant, am I audible?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Just let Mr. Karbhari finish, then we will come to you, sir.
So as far as OPEX is concerned, there is almost hypothetically we can say nothing since the units are completely off grid. However, in the case of let's say on sunny days जब सूरज नहीं आता है तो more than 24 hours अगर ऐसा condition रहता है तो then only grid power is taken by the system and that too वो automatically लेता है.
Hello,
उसमें
Prashant.
कोई human intervention की जरूरत नहीं होती है. So that way, OPEX I would say is negligible.
Yeah, Mr. Santosh. Yeah, Mr. Rahul, we can hear you. Just let Mr. Karbhari finish, then we'll get back to you. Just let him finish. He's answering one question.
So Dheeraj sir, have I answered you correctly?
Yeah, you answered correctly, but part of it. But I would maybe request, maybe I can drop in an email to you and request the pricing because I am looking at more of FPO related solutions that we can do together at the farm gate, basically.
Certainly.
Yes.
So I'll be
So
interested
Dheeraj,
in the capex and the lease model, both of these actually.
Sure.
And maybe also if Mr. Sagar Bendre can also
yes,
give
yes,
some insights
yes,
onto this.
Dheeraj ji. So
Yeah.
so I got your question. So Dheeraj ji, I think slide में जब mention किया था, जो आप farm gate का solution देख रहे हैं, let's say 10, 15, 20 metric ton is capacity में. So our capex goes to 65 to 70 thousand per metric ton. So उस range में our capex will be there. And OPEX wise, I think आपके पास already fruits के orchards है. So उसका जो भी cycle change होता है, same जैसे grapes का let's say cycle change हुआ, तो same जो भी agri residue होता है, that can be also used for the as a major input. So आपका OPEX wise, I think there will be more than 80% cost reduction compared to three-phase conventional technology.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sagar.
Capex
Maybe I
is
would want
straightforward
to
65,000 to 75,000 per metric ton. 70,000 per metric ton.
70,000 per metric ton. Okay.
Yes.
So I would also want to connect with you more to understand the ripening solutions and all of this as well, right?
Sure.
And how this can be used. Maybe we can take it offline later. And
Yes, happy to.
I think you had mentioned your phone number, so I'll connect with you on that. Thank you so much.
All right, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dheeraj. Thank you, Mr. Sagar and Karbhari. So before we go to Mr. Rahul from Carrier, Mr. Santosh, do you also want to pitch in and tell us any solution which can relate with queries raised by Mr. Raj from Samarpan and Mr. Dheeraj, if you want?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like as Mr. Raj wanted to have transport this lychees. So for lychees and any produce, we have very specific temperature control solution. We have called prongo boxes, where which is available for both chilled and frozen application. So for lychee, I know that 3 to 5 degree temperature is required. So we can give it the solution where the boxes where you can put up to 50 or 100 kg of lychees, and it can give you a complete temperature controlled temperature for up to 24 hours or maximum 2 days, 48 hours. So I would like to share all those details with you. If you could share your email ID and phone number. Similarly, with the second to Mr. Dheeraj, as you mentioned that you are based in Gurgaon, so we are also here in Gurgaon sector 62, and we also provide this temperature controlled solar operated cold rooms and also the grid operated with all PCM based. So would also like to share all these details with you so that whatever possibility we have to integrate, we can do.
So definitely, Mr. Santosh, thank you for your answer. And we'll definitely connect all the stakeholders and participants in this meeting. Feel free for that. We'll do the needful in building that contact. Other than that, I think just to update in between, Mr. Rahul got dropped off. and from carrier. So, Mr. Rahul, there's one participant, Mr. Raj from Samarpan FPC, I think Muzaffarpur, Bihar. They are into
Sure.
lychee business and they want to understand how this carrier has any solution for transporting this lychee pulp from Darbhang, from this Muzaffarpur to distance market. Mr. Raj, you can add anything if I'm missing here. And in between, Rahul sir, you want to pitch in, you can please.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you,
sure.
Sanjay. Actually, we are supplying fresh lychee, just, and our quantity is limited to 2 tons per day. So right now we are supplying
सर
through
आप
air
लीची
cargo.
लीची भेज रहे हैं या लीची भेज रहे हैं कि फल भेज रहे हैं जैसा प्रशांत ने बोला
Yeah.
आप लीची ट्रांसपोर्ट करते हैं या पल्प करते हैं जैसे प्रशांत बोल रहे थे
नहीं, लीची फ्रेश लीची ट्रांसपोर्ट की बात कर रहे हैं एक्चुअली, जैसे
ओके
हमारा
तो फ्रेश लीची को तो हम कर सकते हैं
जी जी क्वांटिटी आपका क्या रहेगा, मतलब मिनिमम क्वांटिटी?
सर वो हमारे ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं करता, वो आपके ऊपर है। तो हमारे पास तो जो छोटा गाड़ी है ना वो मारुति वैन साइज से शुरू हो जाता है, द स्मॉलेस्ट व्हाट वी हैव। और अगर आपका ट्रेवल डिस्टेंस इज इनफ फॉर मारुति वैन टू टेक केयर ऑफ योर 2 टन लोड, तो 100% हम लोग आपको सोल्यूशन दे सकते हैं। और अगर उसके आगे लीची आप बाइक एयर कार्गो से जिधर भी ट्रांसपोर्ट करते हैं ना, तो उसका शेल्फ लाइफ ऑटोमेटिकली उस दौरान अच्छा हो जाएगा, क्योंकि उसको कहीं पे भी थर्मल शॉक नहीं लगेगा, लगेगा भी तो बहुत मिनिमल लगेगा।
जी
जी any other question on as far as inverter technology is concerned, anything to do with banana ripening is concerned, anything to do with the short term long term storage of anything is concerned, आप पूछ सकते हैं और यहाँ चैट में लिख सकते हैं। आई कैन टेक दोस क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम प्रशांत एंड आंसर यू ऑन 1-to-1 बेसिस, किसी का भी हो फॉर एग्जांपल। Prashant, over to you.
Oh, so sorry. I think I was speaking on mute. So thank you so much, Rahul sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Raj, for asking the question. We'll take last 2 questions before we conclude this webinar. And other than that, if you have any query, if you need any support or help in building those connections and contacts, feel free to reach out to us. You can call us or mail us. We'll definitely do the needful and connect you to the respective person. So just last 2 questions for this webinar event. Anybody has question, please raise your hand. I think Mr. Arun Mehta has raised his hand. So request Bhairav sir to unmute Mr. Arun Mehta. And I think then we can conclude after taking his questions.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you,
Yes.
Mr. Arun. Please go ahead.
I have one question with ECOZEN and one for plus.
Okay.
For ECOZEN, you mentioned that you have a portable solar cold store also. My question is, this portable cold store, what is the size of that, and how you are providing mobility to this, whether we have to dismantle and put somewhere or it's on the wheel? And also this, what is the size and what is the cost of this? And also, can we use this as a pre-cooling unit also?
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you. I think you are Mr. Arun Mehta from Reliance, right?
Correct.
Yeah, thank you, sir. The thing is that we have different ranges. In those ranges, let's say there is a 2 metric ton unit, which is having the size of 11 feet. I'm talking about the room size, which is excluding the refrigeration system. It is 11 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet. Okay. When it comes to a 5 metric ton unit, it is around 16 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet. Then if it is 10 metric ton, then it is around 17 by 10 by 10. So the previous two, that is 2 metric ton and 5 metric ton, are portable units. Those can be moved. And having said that, these units need not be dismantled. Okay, so there is refrigeration system and there is cold room. Just lift the cold room, lift the refrigeration system, assemble it at the next side, and put it on. So that's how it has to be done. So when it comes to the bigger sizes cold rooms, those are on-site built cold rooms.
So every time we have to dismantle that.
Not needed to dismantle the cold room. Cold room will be intact. There are provisions when it comes to move these structures in intact position. So only refrigeration system and the cold are to be lifted separately.
And can we use this for pre-cooling?
Yes, it is having pre-cooling capacity as well.
Is this forced air cooling can we do?
Yes, it is forced air cooling or yeah, forced convection system. In our system, it has been provided with vertical arrangement of fans so that the effective forced convection is possible with our system. So in 6 hours, it is possible to churn a batch in 6 hours time.
And what is your lease model?
Yes, lease model is available with minimum locking period of 6 months, and it depends on which model you choose.
So it's a monthly basis lease.
Yes.
What will it will cost for 5 metric ton?
So it depends now. There are certain offerings. It varies. Like you do you want it just to be operated on the grid, because many customers are having premises equipped with a grid system. Someone requires it with solar. So likewise, variants are different. So that definitely we can connect with you after the discussion. Just if you could drop your contact, we can connect you.
Thank you. Thanks. For process, I have a question that you told your last mile delivery boxes, chilled boxes. How actually it functions?
So that last mile delivery boxes has the PCM pouches or the PCM tabs that needs to be freezed before putting into the boxes.
It is a dry ice you're putting inside that.
It's basically not the dry ice, but the PCM. So again, as I said that we are the basically manufacturer of PCM. So PCM are filled in the pouches or in the tabs in bottles, HDP bottles. So that needs to be freezed before putting into the boxes, and it can be then used for transportation.
It lasts for 48 hours.
Yes, even we have solution which is used for pharma or pharmaceutical industry, which can last for 120 hours, so 4 5 days. That is the possibility. So, but for the
different from the ordinary chiller boxes which everybody is using with dry ice.
Of course, everybody using is dry ice, which is one time use. Once you put it, you will not get it back. So, but the benefit of these pouches or the PCM technology is it can be reusable, more sustainable, eco-friendly, low cost.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Arun Mehta. So I think we would like to conclude this webinar. So first of all, thank you to all the participants for attending this event, and thank you to all the speakers for taking out the time and participating in this event and presenting the content which was needed. And overall, I think the major thing which has come up is like there's a very crucial role from cold chain sector and a very crucial role from cold chain to reduce post-harvest loss in horticulture produce. And that is very important. So we would like to request all the participants and even speakers to stay tuned. We'll be doing one more webinar in coming month in May, which will be on financing and government subsidies so that cold chain can be promoted in this sector and even it can be more accessible to the people or farmers or FPCs. So just stay tuned, stay connected for the event, and we'll keep you posted about this next webinar, which is going to happen in May. And just before we conclude, if it is possible, can all the participants turn on their camera so that we can take a screenshot if it is okay? And Bhairav sir, I would request if you can provide access to all the people for the camera so that we can also take a screenshot with all the members. So I can see Mr. Sagar, Mr. Santosh Karbhari, and Mr. Rahul as well. I think Dr. Swati has dropped off. So can we provide access to participants as well, sir? Bhairav sir, is it possible?
Sorry, no, not possible for participants. We'll request
Okay.
for speakers to.
Okay, so I'll be taking a screenshot for the posting on social media, and we'll keep you posted. Yeah. Thank you so much, and thank you for attending the event. Have a nice day. Sangeeta ma'am, you want to say anything in this?
No, nothing. Thank you to all the presenters and the participants. And as I said, AEEE does promote sustainable cold chain to help meet your agri-produce and business goals, as well as to help meet your climate action goals. So please stay tuned, and we look forward to your participation in our next webinar, which is on financing and government subsidies. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.